There is a striking contrast between $1 ADA a year ago and $1 ADA today. And if you're paying attention, that contrast offers such valuable long-term direction when it comes to Cardano. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Please hit that subscribe and like on the way in. I appreciate all of you. This is a Cardano video, Cardano charts. There's a lot I want to talk about. This is the structure formed on the 6 hour. We're going to dig into this. We've hit our target in the 80-cent range and we've formed structure all in here since then. I want to talk about the move that's happening right now as Cardano is right around 5% away from $1 once again. And I want to dig into the technical analysis. And before I do, let's take a little quick update in terms of on-chain activity. Cardano in number one in terms of transaction volume, 24-hour transaction volume. In number one, also an adjusted transaction volume. We really like to see it. The other thing, as Cardano continues to grow fundamentally and continues to solve the trilemma, this blockchain challenge of decentralization, scalability, and security, as Cardano's doing that, and Cardano is leading in chain activity when it comes to transaction volume. There's another metric that I want to begin tracking. And it's kind of the beginning phases of this metric. And this is DeFiLlama.com. This is on-chain activity in terms of total value locked. This is Ethereum, 112 billion, right? So this gives you a nice little graph in terms of the growth of the network. And now let's look at Cardano, 124 million. So here we have really interesting dynamic in terms of Cardano data, in terms of transaction volume, Cardano leading, and then the total value locked, Cardano obviously just getting started. And I want to really track how the growth of Cardano network and the DeFi ecosystem in general starts growing in comparison to all these other blockchains. And it's going to be really cool to track that, not in a competitive manner, but in a manner where we can really just visualize the growth of Cardano network outside of just this, which is transaction volume, which we've been looking at. And there are other metrics too that we can look at, but I thought this would be a cool one to begin tracking. So as of today, right now, 124 million total value locked on Cardano. 98% is Sunday swap. Sunday swap dominance, pretty crazy. So let's pivot to the charts, everybody. As we talk about the charts, please note this isn't financial advice. You know me. If you've been watching my videos, we're tracking the data with you. We do not predict. We do not tell you what to do in terms of trades or anything like that on this channel. We like tracking the data with you, though. I feel like we're all on this journey together, and we've been tracking Cardano for so long now. It's the best possible thing that we can do is visualize every scenario and just be ready for it. And we've done so on this channel. So let's jump into the video in terms of technical analysis and talk about this. First off, and we're gonna talk about the contrasts of $1 then and $1 today. But first, before we do, the monthly chart, 12 minutes away. This is what is happening. It's going to happen as I do this video or right after. 6 red monthly candles. We've been tracking that. Just visualize this for a minute. We had back here, the last time we had consolidation on the monthly, kind of similar to what we're seeing now. Not even six red monthly though. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. That fifth was a green, and then 6, 7 was red. So kind of 7, but a green there in the middle. But a huge consolidation nonetheless, very similar to what is happening right now. Notice we also had a similar move back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into a bottom. Right? So 7, where we had a kind of a green volatile month in between there, but this was basically the bear market. So we're in this environment where we almost look like we're trading very similar to the worst times for Cardano price in its history. Then these two times are specifically that. That is the bear market low, and then after that going into kind of the COVID swing low. Those two consolidations. So on the monthly chart, we know that we've kind of ripped the Band-Aid off in terms of pain to the downside. I really think we have. There could be still more downside, but I think the painful part, and we're talking 6 months, and doing Cardano videos like almost every day during the 6 months, it's been a band-aid to rip off. Let me just tell you that right now. But let's dig into this a little bit, because this is where it gets very intriguing for me. And I want to talk about the dollar scenario. Cardano right now is below $1. After everything that has happened, we are below $1. And a lot of people take that negatively, like, oh my goodness, a year ago Cardano was breaking $1 and we went to 3 and now it's all the way, it's failing. You know, I see a lot of trolls in the comments. They're taking advantage of the fact that Cardano right now is $1, right around $1, not even, right, as I do the video. And it was breaking above $1 like a year ago exactly. And we're talking about last February, literally a year ago, breaking above $1. And they're basically kind of like, well, Cardano's time to shine is over. It's done. It had its bullish moment, but it's over now. But I cannot tell you how much I disagree with that. I disagree with that comment so much, everybody. And this chart specifically shows you exactly why. This is Cardano on the weekly. We've already identified the fact that we have consolidated, right, on the weekly in this bottom area, very similar to the bottom area we just looked at on the monthly right here, going into COVID, or close to COVID at the very least, and the bottom of the bear market. So we've consolidated. We've talked about what that means in terms of momentum for Cardano, and, you know, for long-term holders, maybe risk appetite getting a little bit healthier now that we've cooled off so much in Cardano. But beyond that, if we use price data and we start looking at that momentum oscillator, things get pretty powerful. And I want to show you. Let's just say Cardano right now is around $1. And let's say we broke $1 a year ago, last February. And it's true, we did. Now, if we look at this momentum oscillator, it was very bullish that Cardano was just making moves to the upside. But notice the need for consolidation when it did hit this dollar area. Notice the need of consolidation, meaning Cardano was overbought like crazy at that time. So this needed to happen. And this, in terms of price, is what it looks like. Yes, it continued to the upside. There was obvious bearish divergence here on the weekly, and we fell into just kind of a longer term retracement for Cardano. So my point here is this. It was very fun and nice to get this move all the way to $3, really. It was very fun. It was fun to break $1. However, it might even be, if depending how you look at it, depending on your perspective, even more fun, the fact that, and sorry about the text, even more fun that Cardano right now is consolidating towards oversold environments that historically have proven opportunity zones, and right now is all the way back down to $1. Instead of just breaking above it and through it, in a moment where we're overbought, Cardano is essentially oversold and revisiting $1. Right? And yes, there is downside. We can look at that. But that opportunity right there, and I think only macro, long-term thinkers that are actually looking at the charts and understanding what opportunity in crypto looks like will even get this. Those are the only people that will even understand this. And I think there's a ton of you out there that are seeing exactly what I'm seeing. And so I can definitely continue to be patient in the short term. We've already endured 6 months of downtrend, but the opportunity on the macro for Cardano right now, as this party gets started in terms of total value locked and the growth of the DeFi ecosystem on Cardano, as Cardano leads in terms of transaction volume, this opportunity is getting extremely exciting for me. And so I'm not trying to sell people on Cardano when I say that, but again, please remember, I'm like you. I'm just in my own crypto journey, and Cardano is just a huge player for me in my crypto world. And it's exciting to watch all of this transpire and happen before our eyes. Going over now to the daily, here's why we need to be careful on Cardano. And I should probably put that somewhere in the thumbnail or something. Be careful, because it is true. We are still in a downtrend, right? We've hit our first target that we've had and we've been tracking to 80 cents. There's that blue line with the nice daily wick through the blue line of support. We just talked about getting structure after we get that support, and we're forming structure on the 6 hour, which we're going to look at. But the other thing I want to talk about before we look at that 6 hour chart is this. We're getting the structure, but we still have all of this resistance right here. There's so much resistance, not only the dollar mental barrier, but the 20-day moving average right around 99 cents, the 50-day moving average right around $1 and $1.10. And then all in there, we can actually chart a Fibonacci from swing high to swing low, confluent with that entire range of resistance is our 786 at our 618 at $1.06 and our 786 at $1.14. There is a ton of resistance ahead for Cardano. So for this story to continue of lower highs that we see on this screen going back 6 months, for this to continue, the story is very well up for grabs for that to happen. There's a ton of resistance literally where Cardano is right now, just below $1 or even a little bit higher to continue to the downside. So be very prepared for that. But pivoting over here to the 6-hour chart, now we're talking. We have a breakout at the very least out of a 6-hour inverse head and shoulders that we were charting and we talked about yesterday on Twitter and I think YouTube. Yes, I think we tracked this on YouTube. So we got the breakout now out of the upper trend line, which is the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders. The target to the upside is $1.10. So there's also a lot of resistance up to $1.10 because that's the target of this inverse head and shoulder. So a ton of confluent resistance for Cardano in this area, this lower high area. So be on the lookout for a bullish confirmation environment or situation. If Cardano just kind of blasts through that in a way where crypto in general is just moving to the upside, things could get very exciting for Cardano and crypto markets in general. But that could be the first sign of bullish confirmation if we're kind of blasting through that $1.10 to $1.14 range and getting separation from this 50-day moving average at $1.10. Going back to this chart, please be mindful of any type of throwback to the trend line. So revisiting the 80 cent or 80 to 88, or I should say 85 to 90 cent area right now, or even a little bit below, 100% normal in a pattern like this, an inverse head and shoulder. I don't have Bolkowski's data up on the patternsite.com. I think it's 60% of the time there is a throwback of that nature. So it could happen now. It could happen when we get a little bit higher. Maybe we're testing closer to $1 and then we're getting the throwback, maybe some resistance at $1. Before potential continuation to the upside. Be prepared for that. We know our targets. We know what to watch on the 6-hour on the zoomed in charts. I think what's key for me is always knowing, most importantly, the context on the zoomed out charts and on the weekly. I'm telling you, this story of $1 for Cardano is absolutely mind blowing when you're looking at a crypto that's in a position like Cardano is, and that position is a position of massive, explosive growth that I think is getting ready to happen on the blockchain. And gonna really dominate a lot of the crypto space. So this is what I'm tracking. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you for coming by. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.